You know, Fairfield didn't make the postseason this year, but just the fact that their coach was on the sideline was bigger than any win the Stags could have produced on the field this year. Here's our Aaron Colton.
He looks, acts, and sounds.
Doug, you gotta push opposite. You gotta push opposite there.
Like a typical Division I college lacrosse coach.
Here we go! Here we go!
But there's something about Fairfield head coach Ted Spencer you would never know by just looking at him. He's battling cancer.
I was picking up my kids at school. So imagine getting a call when you're picking up your kids at school. And my wife said, "Was that the doctor?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "What's going on?" I said, "I'll tell you later." You know, because I didn't want to say it in front of the kids. So, but ultimately she pulled me aside and I told her.
What Coach told his wife was that he had a cancerous tumor in his throat. The first thing on his mind, saving his life so he could be there for his family. The second, saving his life so he could be there for his team.
Right from the start, when I told my players here, you know, what was going to go on, I said, "Look, I'm going to beat this. And I'm going to be on the field February 2nd for our first scrimmage against Army."
We were all just shocked. Came completely out of nowhere. We didn't see it coming.
We didn't know the timetable. We didn't know what was going to happen. Are we going to get a new coach? Are we going to even have Coach Spencer there on the sidelines? But he made a promise to us that he'd be there for the first scrimmage. Pretty
bold for a man who was trying to beat cancer. But he did make that promise to his players, ensuring them he would not miss a step this season. And he kept it.
They told me, "Look, you need to take 2 months off before you go back to work." Okay? 1 week later, I was on the field coaching my team.
They always cut a top guy right to the crease and they look for him. They try to jam it in.
I want to win. That's the way I attack my job. I'm head first, you know, and get out of my way type of guy. And so I approach beating cancer the exact same way.
To help cure Coach's cancer, doctors had to remove a 3-inch lymph node from his neck, a surgery that would make it difficult for anyone to just get out of bed. 1 week later, he visited his team and ran 7 miles with them.
I remember that run. It was a cold morning. It was a little damp, and I remember we were finishing up our probably last half a mile, and I'm huffing and puffing, and I look back and I see Coach Spencer right on my tail. So I had to sprint my butt off to make sure that he didn't beat me, especially a week out of surgery. But it was just incredible seeing it. It was great.
These days, you never see Coach Spencer without a bottle of water in his hand. He needs to drink constantly because the radiation damaged his saliva glands, making it hard to speak at times.
I don't produce saliva like a normal person, so I have a lot of dryness now. So all the healing's done, but my mouth will get so dry to the point where I can't swallow.
But even that doesn't stop him. He just takes a sip and keeps on screaming.
You got a choice. You can do this hard for 10 minutes, or we can do some laps for 10 minutes. You let me know. Here we go.
Not once did Coach Spencer think that this cancer is going to beat him.
It shows you if you put your mind to something, you can do it, even if it's beating cancer or anything else.
How does it make you feel that you can say that you kick cancer's butt?
It feels great. I mean, you know, I think it's motivation for others, you know, to say I beat cancer, and I can look people in the eye. It makes me smile, you know. So I think most important for me, what it means is that I'm hopeful I can inspire others.
Coach still has to wait another year to make sure the cancer doesn't come back. But when he gets there, nothing will make him more proud than to call himself a survivor.
You need to just say, it could be worse, and attack it quickly, you know. I mean, there are a lot of things that go into it, but I think the biggest thing is to know in your mind that you can beat this thing. And if you do that, I think anything's possible.
For anyone out there who thinks Fairfield U Lacrosse had a losing season, think again. We'll be back with more right after this.